Call this meeting to order. Stand and face the flag for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Britton Luther.
Present.
R.J. Donovan.
Here.
Tim Yoakins here. The open issue tonight is the jail construction manager, and I'd like to introduce Gormong. They are here tonight to answer some questions. And Britton, you want to start this out, this discussion, or?
I'm satisfied with the contract as it is. I have no discussion at this point.
What did you have the questions when you was reading it, John?
The only thing I ask you guys is if you look at paragraph 8.2.4, you can decide if mediation, if there's a dispute and you mediate the dispute and mediation doesn't resolve the dispute, whether you would go to arbitration or go to litigation. I mean, I would naturally rather go to litigation than arbitration. Arbitration tends to favor the professional service over the client, in my opinion. But that's the only thing I saw that sparked a question in me. As far as the amounts of money and stuff, that's up to you guys.
You got any response to that?
I think we're agreeable to either, so we've never been in that situation in all of our years, so.
Hopefully we won't.
I'm gonna start now, so if you would prefer to change it, we'd be agreeable to that.
Which section was that, John?
That's 8.2.4, and I'm just suggesting instead of putting the X in the box for arbitration, you put the X in the litigation in a court of competent jurisdiction.
And Lance, I know last Thursday they had interviewed you guys over the price and fee, and I was unfortunate to not make that meeting, and I'd expressed some concern over the, I call it on all-in price, but it's a CMA fee of 4%, and then the staff is 6%, is that correct? And you guys have agreed to cap both of those?
That's correct, yes.
And it was my understanding that there was not a lot of wiggle room with the staffing price going down in the percentage, is that correct?
Yeah, so what we did was we took all the other costs and put it in there in one cap. So the other cost being anything we need for professional service, so our computers, any technology licensing we need, our job trailer for the site, travel to and from the site, all of those things will now be included in that one cap.
In that meeting, no one else expressed any concern over the 6% staffing? Tim, Britton, anybody? Did anybody have any concern over the 6% or the 4%?
The only comments I had was from RQAW. They're a little bit disappointed that we didn't have a construction manager on during the design phase, if you will, and that there might be some consideration given based on them not providing assistance with the design. And so that's the only comment that I received.
I think
That has nothing to do with what they've done. It has to do with our delay in procuring a construction manager, though. They can make. Do you guys have a comment on that effect? How that might? I'm not sure. Well, you go ahead and make a comment before I.
Yeah, the only comment is the number that we've provided is a studied number that starts at the point we are today and takes us through completion of the project through the warranty period. So, you know, the fee is set based on where we will be today. And our intention would be, if we're successful to gain the business, we've got like 6 or 8 weeks here to get up to speed and get the project out to bid, and that's what we're prepared to do.
My comment would be is that you're going to compress what we should have had you doing since January into a shorter time period. We're also on to a not to exceed number, so most of that would have been expertise of your personnel, I would believe, at that point. Some language issues, but because of that, either you'll have that already because of overtime or because of, I don't know if we're gonna call it overtime, but a compressed schedule anyway. And it also has to do with the hours that you're gonna put in. Either if you're not able to put in as many hours, then it's not gonna show up in the costs, so.
I think our discussion last time was how do we get more of a solid cost, wasn't it? That's what we came up with as far as a firmer cost. Most of these contracts got a lot of openings in them, I think. And a lot of that concerned me. And I think that by coming back in the agreement and the price you have, it includes what we really want to find out, and it's more of a set figure than coming in with a lot of questions. Would you agree with that?
Yes, so we originally started out at a, what we call cost plus agreement. So whatever services you purchase, it's cost plus a fee. What we've established based on your early concerns is now we've said, okay, no matter what happens, our fee is capped at this number and our staff is capped at another number.
Right. I think that's important. And one of the questions I had in the earlier conversation, I just want to say a few things here that we're way behind on this. I apologize to the jail and everyone else involved, but there's been some delay there, and we went through some rough situations. But one of the things we did is we interviewed 2 companies, and both were at the same 4% base of the job. And when you add up the cost of both of them, they were very competitive. So it wasn't, a decision wasn't made by one company. I know Britton earlier had recommended use one company, which in the long run was probably good advice, because it's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, John, professional services did not have to be bid out.
No, you can hire professional services by any manner that you see fit.
And therefore we've lost probably 2 months from this, but RJ and I were both under we are not construction guys, or if you whatever you want to say it, so we asked for a comparison between 2 companies, and that helped substantiate us in our mind about making this decision. You know, if you would have been out someplace, you know, far out, or the other company been far out, but when it all come down, it was very competitive, and so it makes, I know from my standpoint, a little more better, feel a little better about it, because we've done some research and had some questions. Regardless of which company you take, there's always going to be some differences between the 2, but both are highly qualified, and I know that you guys are still working on a, how large is that jail price job with Bible County?
It's construction cost on it, 53.
Yeah, 53 million.
53 million.
$64 million total project cost.
Okay. And I called and talked to some of the people in Bible County, and they were very, very well. They're happy with you guys' performance, and they did give good words of support. So that was a big help to me also. So, RJ, Britton, you guys got any discussion here? We talked some more. We got plenty of time to discuss it. If you
No,
think of it another way, or I mean,
I've made my comments. I still believe the 10% is too high, but I mean, that's, you know, you'd mentioned that you could cut the construction time down, but I mean, those are my only comments.
Okay. Well, I can read this fee. Would I need to read this construction fee? Would be the best. What do I need to bring out this meeting?
You just have to make a clear record of what it is you're doing. You can read the entire thing, or you can incorporate it into your decision by reference.
Okay.
It just has to, Brenda has to have a clear record of what you guys' decision is tonight.
I think the construction phase and the fees need to be discussed, brought out. They need to be noted so everyone knows. Article 11 compensation is what we have right now according to this. Current contractor proposal. Says construction manager's fee shall be paid to the construction manager as 4% of the cost of work. That means any of the invoicing, correct me if I'm wrong, invoicing or contractors, any work that's turned in will automatically be assessed a 4% fee. And that is capped at $600,000 for total, correct?
That's correct.
So we do have a set fee on that. You're free to contribute or say, you know, if I'm going down the right road. But so we are capped on that, which I think is a good thing. Site management shall be compensated on a time and material basis for hours incurred for projects pursuant to billable rates. And it says the rates, construction manager staffing will be capped at $960,000. Am I correct on that?
That's correct.
This will be inclusive of pre-construction services described in 11.111. The bill rates are inclusive of technology, estimating software, scheduling software, project management software, computers, cell phones, travel expense, and office supplies, job trailer, and any other items needed for our professional staff is not included in the cost of work. The last item there, it says the bill rates are inclusive of technology. Okay. Any other item needed for professionals? That's not. Okay. General conditions, expenses related to the cost of work incurred shall be compensated at cost plus 4%. Examples of subject expense shall includes but not limited to material testing, equipment rental, equipment, supplies, temporary sanitary facilities, fencing, dumpsters, utilities, and project cleanup. So that is basically the basis of the cost of the project as far as them overseeing, correct me, or anything that, and that's based on, we're still looking at roughly a 24-month construction period.
That is accurate, yes.
Okay. One of the questions that I think needs to be addressed, we come in with a budget figure with you on this amount of this project. We will be on that budget, right? We'll make it fit into that budget.
Yes.
The budget amount which we come up with we will work together to come up with that budget.
Yeah.
To fit into that amount.
That's right. So if you tell me that your budget's $10 million, we're going to find you a solution that fits with $10 million. If you tell me it's $16 million, we're going to show you how you can take your $16 million, invest it in the project, and what you can buy with that money.
Okay.
And again, all of our estimating is a projection of bid day costs, so that's our job.
Okay. Ashley, you're free to ask questions. Ashley, Avi James here, she's the president of the council. And okay. And within that fee will also be your fee included still in that budget amount.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
John, I got one question for you. Under 11.8.2.1, there's if for some reason we don't make payment in a timely manner, 60 days or whatever it is in here, there's a 12% annual rate to be charged against the whatever we're delinquent on payment of. Is that is that capped by the state, or is that any agreement that we want to make? In other words, is that 12% appropriate for this project?
I mean, there's no hard and fast rule on what you can agree to in a contract like this. So it's just, if you guys feel comfortable with that, then it's okay. If you don't feel comfortable with that, then you can try to negotiate a change in it. But I'm not aware of a state law that caps what you can put in it. Now, if it was a credit card or a loan or something, there are caps. But for something like this, I'm not aware of any caps.
Okay. Your interest rates that you have to borrow money against, is this comparable to that?
I'm not privy to what our line of credit or what have you would be, but the reason it's established that way, it's really just 1% per month. But why it's established that way is because we wouldn't want our owner to be incentivized to just never pay us, right? We don't want you to go invest your money because you're making higher interest rate than 12%, right? So if you set it low, some people set it at 2 or 3%. Well, you could just never pay me. you're just making interest and just sending me a check. So that's the reason why it's established that way. Again, you're not going to find that we're the type of people that say, hey, it's 61 days, you owe me an extra, $20. It's not something that we ever have issues with, honestly. Did I answer your question? So why it's established at the 12?
No.
Okay.
Question was, what, is that comparable to what you're borrowing money at?
No, the answer is no. I mean, if we ever were into a line of credit, it's probably in the 5 or 6% range.
That was my
It
question.
would be twice that. But I think Lance's explanation is accurate.
I understand.
On both counts. One, it's just puts a little bit of teeth to, the payment terms, and two, practically speaking, I don't know that we've ever charged interest to a client. I mean, it just doesn't happen, so. Unless you just choose not to pay us for, no cause, and then, but again, that's not gonna happen.
You see any issues with you meeting the deadlines and what we're trying to do here, or how do you?
The only challenge I foresee, like I've told you before, is if we start to budget this project, and for some reason, when we budgeted, what's drawn today is projected to cost a lot more than what you have, and there's gonna be a period where we're working with your design team to make those drawings reflect what it is we think you can afford in your budget. So can we meet your debt, can we get a budget to you in 4 weeks like we promised? Absolutely. As soon as we all agree on a budget, can we get this project out to bid immediately and get started? Absolutely. Can we build it in 24 months? Absolutely. So.
Are we still going to be able to, written on the bid date is what we projected earlier in the May, or we're going to have to go into June now?
We should still be on schedule at this point. There's no reason for us not to meet our milestone schedule.
And you guys don't have a problem with that date?
And we're still waiting on this, we haven't, as a definitive schedule will be defined by them when they get going on this, but we have milestones in which they should be able to meet though.
Anybody out there have any questions? Or, Mike, you got anything to say or ask?
No, I'm ready to get the show on the road.
How long has it been? Seriously, when did it start?
We
It's
did
been
our
6 years?
study in 2015 and started presenting projects and costs in 2016. And it's been presented every year since then, except in 2018.
Long overdue. Got any other questions, John?
I don't.
So we'll have to make a decision here. Does anyone want to make a motion that we hire Gormont to be the CM manager on this jail project?
Do you want to say anything about the annual rate, or you want everybody satisfied? I don't think it's going to come into play, but it's in there.
Say it again?
The annual rate of, in case we don't pay in 60 days, the annual rate of interest. Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah, I don't see where, I mean, he's got a valid point. I mean, if you got millions of dollars on hand, why would you give it to them when you make more money on the interest somewhere place else? So, that's 60 days, right? 60 days, 12%, so 1% a month.
1% per month, yes.
Yeah. I don't know with that term at all.
I'll make a motion that we accept the AIA document C 132-2019 between Garmong and the county commissioners of Vermillion County, or Vermillion County by the Vermillion County Board of Commissioners as stated in the document, and for the terms and conditions as written.
Got a second on it?
Apparently it fails.
Do what?
Apparently the motion fails for
Well,
lack
I
of
don't-
second.
I haven't said anything.
Well, that's what I say, for lack of second.
I'll second it. Discussion?
I have none.
Anything to say?
I don't have any more, no.
Okay, I'll bring it up for a vote. All in favor?
Aye?
Aye. All opposed?
No.
Measure pass.
Would you like to state your reasons why you voted no?
Yeah, I think I made that a little bit clearer earlier, but I'm still against the 10% all-in fee. The 4% CMA fee I think is fair, but I do believe the 6% is too high. And I do believe Garmong will do a good job, but like I said, the fee is just too high for my liking.
What
So,
type of fee did you want to see?
as I stated in the emails with Garmong and you, I felt 6% was too high. So,
5.9?
well, I think it could have been negotiated a little bit lower, but again, those are my reasons.
The other company we was dealing with, Envoy, was a great company. I had no problem with them. Both companies, as RJ said, was very good companies. We compared both companies. There was both a 4% fee when we worked out the agreements, and the months and stuff. It was very negotiable as far as the cost between the two, even on the added cost. So there was, to me, it was a very close, competitive, and with both of them. So I think everyone here has done their research, whether we agree or don't agree. I think all three of us have researched this, and all three of us had made the best decision that we believe that we could with information. And I feel very comfortable with it. I feel very comfortable with it. This project, the delays on this project has been terrible, and if we would have voted this down tonight, it would have been bad. We need to move on. Been through this, I've had stuff thrown out, many people complain, why ain't you, and then we come up and vote. We all should have got this done. And so therefore, I feel very good in what we're doing. Mike deserves this to be done. The Sheriff's Department is long overdue to have this done, and we have made a very positive decision. And if we get into small amounts, these small amounts don't amount to very much when you look at the big picture. So, anybody else got anything to say?
Let's get started.
Motion adjourned?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned. Thank you.